and John and Hitman Holla.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen in my entire life, yo.
Yo, the dudes together are just, bro, they out of control,
Dog.
no.
And then like clips in the third round. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Welcome to
We live.
Views from the 22,
We live,
live
baby.
on the scene. As you see, Mo is newly initiated into battle rap, so
Mm-hmm.
he has
So
a lot
now
he's learning.
now he has to watch Clips and Goods versus Shotgun and Arsenal.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
disrespectful.
The one dude I didn't like was I saw Clips battle some dude in London. I didn't like that
That
dude.
was it was one of those things where they try to expand. They were expanding. That was the beginning of them expanding to London, the URL.
Yeah.
So those guys
Whatever.
are starting off and stuff like that. That was years ago though.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
So
So
as we see, he's newly initiated, so he's trying to catch up with all of the battles. He got a long way to go. So
Yes.
once he gets caught up, then maybe he'll be able to have some fun with us on battle rap nights. With that being said, views from the 22 live on the scene, sponsored by Monkey Knife Fights, best over unders in the game. Go ahead, THESCEN, all capital letters. Type that in the promo code. Tell them that the scene sent you. They'll match up to $100 that you put in to gamble with. That being said, this right here is my swag. I'm on trash all night. Damn. Everybody pay attention because this right here is the 22 swag. Hey, 22 swag. Now, with that being said, look, man, we got a crazy quick show for you guys tonight. Vic, Mo, Germ, we ain't even gonna skip. We're gonna skip the pleasantries.
Yeah.
Education about the abomination we've been seeing around the sport. We got to talk about some things. I don't care about yardage is the biggest. Statistics are a big major lie in professional sports because somebody can average all the points that they want. They can average all the yards in the world, but does it translate to wins? And does it put their team in a best position to win football games, basketball games, hockey games, whatever? Mo, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, don't start with me, but go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm starting with you.
No, let's go.
What is the number one thing that you use to identify if a player plays winning football at the quarterback position? We're going to start with quarterback.
All right, well, I think I know why you lobbing this up. Simply put, you got to look, every possession has got to end with a kick. What we mean by that is not necessarily every possession is going to end with points. It's an imperfect game. This is reality. We know that's not going to happen. This ain't Madden. You feel me? So, but when every possession is ending with points, what that signifies to me is that the quarterback is keeping his team, Team, keeping them in a position to win, keeping them in good position, be it good field position, being ending in points, whatever. The ultimate bottom line is he's not turning the ball over. He's letting the game play its course throughout the 60 minutes. Shout out to Jay Ham. Stay the course. So that's the number one thing you got to look for when it comes to being a good quarterback. How many possessions are ending with kicks, not picks?
Vic, what about you? What's something that you look for?
I'm just looking for consistency. Is it consistency with fundamentals? Consistency in the huddle. Is everybody playing the hardest for that quarterback? Are they making sure they're in their spots? Are they making sure they're picking up blitzes, running the routes that they need to run, and then making the consistent reads and throws? That's basically the things I'm looking for. That obviously you cannot see in the stat room or in the stat sheet. Things that you can see in the film room. In other words, so that's what I'm looking for, just to keep it short.
So we got every possession ending in a kick, and then we have consistency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the constant between some of these things that we talk about when we talk about the quarterback position is accuracy is the one thing we can't teach. I can't teach you how to throw the football accurately to people. That's just a trait that you either have or you don't have. When you feel like you can, so Vic, you're the scout. You're the guy that understands that and can explain that probably better than me and Mo can at this moment. Why is it accuracy can't be taught?
I mean, accuracy comes with instincts too. Having the feel, having the instincts to be able to basically. So you have accuracy, you have ball placement, you have precision passing. So for example, there's some quarterbacks that they know if they have to get the ball high up in the air or low and away where only the receiver can get it. You know what I mean? So accuracy has to have a feel. There's a touch to it. There's the ability to can you throw it hard or can you have the soft touch when necessary? Accuracy has a lot of different. It's like an art. What I mean? It's like not everybody can be a barber. Not everybody can be a painter, and a good one at that. And that's what these quarterbacks are. Some of these quarterbacks are able to do. For example, at the goal line, throwing it low and away where nobody else could catch it but the receiver. The back of the goal line, throwing it high and up where only the receiver can catch it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the accuracy and the feel. It's just a feel that you can't really describe. You just have to be able to see who has that feel, especially in the professional level.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now, with those things,
go ahead.
No. But now, with those things being said, we've highlighted those three things, right? Now, I want to highlight this one important thing, and then I'm gonna pass it right to you, Mo, to further that point. The thing here, why this is important and why this is relevant information is because yards don't dictate to me how great a performance was at the quarterback position. And why is that? Because sometimes you just need to take the 5-yard throw that results in a 70-yard touchdown. Being able to make that 5-yard throw on a line, putting it in the right position at the right time is far more difficult than just dropping back and throwing the ball 40 yards down the field and hoping that the receiver can come up with the ball. And part of that goes into another position having to do certain things the right way, and other positions having to all come together in a synonymous or in a I don't want to say in a synonymous. No. All of it just coming together. We'll say that, right? And being in sync. Y'all like R&B? Y'all like the boy bands? In sync. The whole thing has to be in sync in order for us to see the beauty of the play when it comes to football. So, Mo, I know that transitions into what you're getting ready to say here because I know you. So go ahead and take it away from there.
I mean, Germ, stats, let me tell you something. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't, but the people that use them do. Shout out to Myron Jenkins. It's a type of thing where stats are in no way indicative of how a quarterback performs. We were talking about this the other night. By the time it's all said and done, Matt Ryan is going to have, on paper, a better career than Troy Aikman, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Dan Marino. Like, Matt Ryan's going to finish top 10 in just about every statistical category. You feel me? Like, stats are in no way indicative of what really happens in a game. Are you putting the team in the proper position? Are you throwing the ball in the proper location so your player can get more yards with it? Are you avoiding unnecessary sacks? Okay, is your team constantly in 3rd and 13? Are you constantly seeing bad field position? If so, you might be a quarterback short of what you really need. And I think that's what's going on with a lot of these teams. And another thing I'm gonna tell you, Germ, stats and domination are not synonymous. It's just not. And the reality is, a lot of these mediocre quarterbacks, the Matt Ryans of the world, the Derek Carrs of the world, like none of these guys have ever been in a place to dominate. You know what I mean? Like, they don't dominate opponents. They're gonna have blowouts every now and then. Sure, they might have 4 or 5 touchdown passes. Now, Matt Ryan obviously had an MVP season, but we got to look at the big picture here. You know what I mean? And none of these like great quarterbacks dominate the field. Field position, theirs. Time of possession, theirs. 3rd down conversion, theirs. Red zone conversions, theirs. It's not about these touchdowns and these yards and these points and these fantasy things. We're living in the real world, baby. We got to get wins as a football team. And a lot of these quarterbacks are not playing winning football. Just because they're giving you all these fantasy points, or they're putting up these cartoon type statistical games that don't even make no sense. It has nothing to do with, are you the quarterback needed for this football team to win games Sunday after Sunday and ultimately in January, and if you good enough, once or twice in February. And there's not many of them.
The position has become a lot more stat driven, and fantasy driven than it has become actually fundamentally driven. Because the fundamental of the position is that you are the game manager. So when people say game manager, that's not a negative thing to a quarterback. That's one of your first jobs. Guess game management. Yeah. Game management 101 is ending every possession with a kick. That's game management 101. The ball shall not listen. In Quarterbacks chapter 1 verse 1, it says, "Thou shalt not give the ball to the other team."
Yeah.
In parentheses, end quote. It's really simple. And then verse 2, chapter 1 says, "Thou shalt be accurate with the football when throwing to thy players on my team." Period, point blank. It's really simple. All of these numbers that we talk about, throwing for 500 yards, throwing for all of these great records, I'm going to give y'all something interesting. Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger, in the 2 seasons that he's won the Lombardi Trophy, has statistically had probably 2 or 3 of his worst seasons.
Worse.
But when it came down to him performing in January, he made all the right plays. And I say this all the time, and I say this to everybody here. When it comes down to it, the Ben Roethlisberger that comes to the line of scrimmage in the shotgun and puts 2 hands up and points at all of the players on the defense is the second best quarterback in the NFL every week. Not the guy that we think is the most talented, not the guy that we think it has all of the can make every throw and does all these other crazy things. Ben is a player that has taken it in every level of an NFL season, whether it be in the regular season, whether it be in January. We've seen him do it in February. We've only seen one other guy consistently go and take something in these scenarios in the last 20 years. And he has the most rings and is separating himself from the rest of the field. It's really, and when I say go take something, fellas, that means every throw that I'm getting ready to make here matters. Every possession matters. Every down means something. And yes, there are games that every quarterback fails because it's an imperfect game. This is still a human element of the game where nobody is 100%. We have to make sure we understand those things, and why we're bringing these things up is because I want to start transitioning to more educational things for these positions because we're losing what the positions are about. When we see a running back, and the first thing we think is breakaway speed. Well, in the history of running backs, you got Bo Jackson, one of the best athletes we've ever seen, probably could have been one of the greatest to ever do it. Injuries derailed his career. Then we look at a guy like Adrian Peterson. Injuries were a part of his career, but he still has one of the best 5 seasons we've ever seen from a running back. He wasn't the fastest guy, but he had the most will of everybody on that field every Sunday. Ball carrier vision is the most important trait for a running back. Do you know how many times every week I see running backs just slamming into the back of their linemen with a wide open cutback lane in the back on the backside? That the ball carrier vision is becoming a lost art. The ghost of Marshall Faulk, LaDainian Tomlinson, Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, they're rolling in their graves right now. What are we doing? Vic, I want to get you back in right here. What is it that you feel has been lost as scouting, just in general, when it comes to just every position? And this is not just one position being singled out. What do you feel is one thing that you think has been lost in the scouting community over the last 15, 20 years?
Great question.
That's a tough question, bro. Because that's a subject we can go all day about. I think just the art of drafting winners, man, of scouting winners. Like you said, people that are not just this, statistically killing it, but people that are down in and down out consistent. You know what I mean? For example, Deshaun Watson, obviously putting everything that he has to the side, there was so many question marks about his game. Is he accurate enough? Does he have the tools, the mentality good enough for the NFL? But then you look at a guy that was always a winner. We saw that game against Alabama where he almost took over single-handedly. That was a winning quarterback right there. And for us, we saw that. We saw a leader. We saw a guy that was out there winning, and we ranked him number 1 on our board. Meanwhile, the Bears pass up on him for Mitch Trubisky. Where do we have him on our board? So I think like I said, that's a very open subject right there. Because I could go all day about that, but I think number 1 is like drafting winners, people that are consistent, down in, down out at what their job is, what their responsibility is, and what the coaches ask for them to do. Are they executing it at 110%?
Mo, what about you? What would you say?
What's been eliminated from the scouting community or lost?
What's missing? Well, yes. What's the lost art of scouting for you?
I'll tell you what it is. And I don't necessarily think this is just a scouting problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to give you such a deep answer, but this is my only answer. I don't think it's a scouting problem. I think it's a sports problem. I don't think it's a sports problem. I think it's a societal problem. I think it's a problem that it's a pandemic amongst humans, and ain't no vaccine for it, because everybody's becoming a fiend for one thing: attention. And so everybody's so quick with the hot take. Baker Mayfield, superstar. Lamar Jackson, he's not a quarterback. Andrew Luck, next best thing. Like everybody's so infatuated with giving you that headline, with giving you that flash, and nobody's really focusing on the substance. Everybody wants to take pictures of the meal, but nobody wants to show you the ingredients. You know what I mean? Like I could bring you 2 pieces of pizza pies right here, and they look identical. But one of them, the dough soft, they ain't got no salt whatsoever, no seasoning, cheese ain't cheesy. You know what I mean? Chicken tastes like plastic. And the other one is gourmet. One is $4.99 plus a drink. One is $23.50 without tax. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's gotten away from substance. everybody wants flash. And I think it's not just a scouting issue. I think it's such a pandemic that is starting to trickle into everything that we do. And that's why overall there's been just a lack of consistent quality in a lot of things. And so when it comes to this football, when it comes to this scouting, especially when we're in the middle of a revolution in terms of what the football player looks like, you know what I mean? Like we had a generation of us grow up on football players, and we had a generation of us grow up on football athletes, and now you're starting to see both come together, and people are having a hard time distinguishing because they're getting so caught up in these tests and the flash. And again, I think it speaks on a deeper issue. I hate to give you such a deep answer, True.
Well, no. That's see, because here's what my answer is going to be as we transition into the game. I think number one, I like both of you guys' answers a lot, but the thing I think is lost in the scouting community is the simplest thing. What are these positions here to do?
Yeah,
that's like having animals in the animal kingdom.
That's a great freaking point. That is a great.
What is the purpose of the quarterback? What is the purpose? Like divine purpose in everything we do in life centers everything. That puts everything right there into perspective. Divine purpose. So what is the purpose of the quarterback? What is the purpose of the running back? What is the purpose of the left tackle, the right tackle? What is the purpose of the center? And when we do that collectively, every man on this 11-man, 22-man field that we have here, 11x2, which we'll call the 22 field, is they have a position. They have something that they're put on this field to do. Safety. Why is the safety called a safety? Probably because he's the safety net between the end zone and the last man of defense. Hey, he is the last player that can stop you from scoring a touchdown. That's probably why he's the safety. Hey, why is the cornerback so important? Because he got to cover the receivers. Why is the receivers important? Because they get the ball from the quarterback. Why is the right tackle, the left tackle important? They protect the blind side and the strong side of the quarterback. You have to understand what the positions are for. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to take an evolution of the athletes and the influx of athletes, and we're trying to revolutionize positions. And instead of letting the players doing the revolutionizing. And that's where we find this situation being what it is. Lawrence Taylor revolutionized the weak side linebacker in the 34. He revolutionized that position. Why? Because he made the left tackle now the second highest paid player on an NFL franchise, because now the luxury tackle,
say that,
because he protects the blind side of the quarterback. Why? Because most quarterbacks are right-handed. So we have to understand what the players are there to do.
Right.
Understanding that that's a part of the game.
Right.
So understanding what each position is put on the field to do, why each position is valuable, and what each position's divine purpose is the lost thing in the scouting community. Now, as we talk about that, we transition beautifully into this game right here. We got evolution, and we have a numbers guy and a guy who's a winner. We have the numbers guy and the guy who's a winner. See how we said, look, I believe in a parallel universe, and it's just really, really easy for me to put these things together. Matt Ryan is probably one of the best number quarterbacks we probably will ever see, because last year only 2 quarterbacks threw over 600 passes and had over 400 completions. One of them won the Super Bowl. The other one was Matthew Ryan. Let's just call it what it is. Matthew Ryan in the regular season is going to give you some numbers. Here's the ideal thing. Last year, while Matt Ryan was doing all those things in garbage time, there was a guy named Mac Jones who was in Alabama running historic numbers after a season we just seen where Joe Burrow dominated the SEC. Why is this important? Because Mac Jones has been a winner since he's been at Alabama. Has a winning pedigree. He just won a national championship in the essence of which they dominated on both sides of the football. Why is this relevant to this conversation? Mac Jones showed during the scouting process that he was a winner. He showed that he cares about each possession ending in a kick. He showed the accuracy of a quarterback that you need. He showed consistency in everything from body mechanics, from consistency on the sideline with his teammates, to consistency with every throw that he makes. He wants to make it the best throw. He showed those things. While we got another guy on the other end who has not shown those things, and that's why he only has one good season really to show for it. And in that season, it didn't end with a championship of any sort. It ended with him seeing another man raise a championship. Fellas, Atlanta versus New England. Mo, do your work.
Bro, I ain't even got the over-under on this game, but I'll pull it up for y'all real quick. I'll give it to y'all in a little bit. Just simply put my take on this game. You see, somehow these colors just found themselves on my body this evening. Okay, you know me, I ain't gonna root for no crappy football. Life is too short to root for a shitty football team. Excuse my French, YouTube. All right, New England. This is me simply saying to y'all, New England is back. New England has got a real football team that they putting out to play every Sunday, Chief, Thursday today. And you could question my fandom, but I don't see none of y'all being plugs in here. Okay. The Patriots 1 through 53 are gonna battle anybody in the AFC. And it's because Bill found him one. He ain't got the next GOAT. He ain't got the next all-time great. But he's got a quarterback that can get it done. He's got a quarterback that is playing the game the way Bill wants the game to be played. And the same way how you were talking earlier, that Tom Brady separated himself, and you could autogram Sammy Barr, Norm Van Brocklin, Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Pat Mahomes. It don't matter. He's in his own class. Bill, now, first of all, we got to, and I know Vic is going to like this, we got to separate the GM from the coach. But Bill as a coach, Bill Walsh, Joe Gibbs, the great late Chuck Noll, you name them, Andy Reid, Pete Carroll, Mike Tomlin, Sean Payton, like none of those guys are in this dude's class as a football coach. You know the only one in his class? Nick Saban. You know where Mac Jones came from? Nick Saban. That's all you need to know about the ingredients in this mix. Pats by 6, just because it rhymes. Go ahead, Vic.
This is and I told you so game for me, fellas. I told you Mac Jones was going to be the shit. I told everybody that. I told the Falcons they should have drafted him 3rd overall. They didn't do that. And here we are. I told the 49ers they should have drafted him 4th overall. And
Excuse me, third overall for them, 4th overall for the Falcons. You just flipped it. But you could.
3rd overall for San Francisco, 5th overall. Now, shout out to Kyle Pitts. He's going to be a great player on his own right. But he plays that, a lesser position when it comes to importance. And now I told folks, do not let New England draft this kid. Please. I wanted to see how Brady continued to win throughout his career while Bill started to lose a little bit more throughout his career. But here we are. Patriots against the Falcons, where Mac Jones should have been in Atlanta to replace,
Matt Ryan.
I didn't want to say his name more because it's about time they move on from this football player radar. It is about time. I said it and I said it and I said it in the offseason. Mac Jones was going to be the guy for a lot of these football teams. And next thing you know, he falls 15th overall to the New England Patriots. And here we are, 7-4 football team. What are they? No, 6-4, ready to go to 7-4 today. I got the Patriots today.
Okay.
What happened? Am I off?
No, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
What you mean? They gonna win tonight?
All right, bro. I hope you're right.
Man, listen, this kid is incredible. This isn't in. I mean, the touch, the accuracy. I mean, like Mo said, he got Bill and the Patriots got themselves another one. And this kid is the sky's the limit for this player right here. So I mean, I'm taking the Patriots in this game.
Yeah,
You guys covered.
just for the
You guys-
record, Germ,
Yes.
over under is 47. And yo, this is a Falcons home game. And they are 6.5-point underdogs, Chief. But go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all covered enough. I will not listen. The Falcons get no play in this ride. And another thing, Matt Ryan gets no play in this ride. The only Ryan that I will acknowledge is Rex.
Oh,
That's it. I ain't acknowledging none of maybe Nolan Ryan. Maybe anybody, but not Matt. If his name starts with a Matt and it ends with a Ryan, I ain't going there. That being said, give me the Patriots. Disrespectful. 37. I don't want the Falcons to score. I'm sick of them. I want them to beat them just like they beat the Browns last week. Domination. Show me that you are about this life. That being
I
said,
dig it.
views from the 22,
Yes, sir.
live on the scene. We're here for Thursday night. Football game starts in about 60 seconds. That being said, Vic, Mo,
Yes, sir.
Germ, 22.
Thread going up.
Enjoy the game, y'all.
Yeah, that's a